In the last Quirks episode, you saw Matt and I driving around in his E92 M3 while talking about the N65 V8, but that got me thinking, what about the E92 M3 with its S65 V8? So here are the top 10 quirks about the BMW E92 Generation M3. Starting it off with the most unique feature, the S65 V8. This is the only M3 to ever have a V8 in it. Under the hood of the E92 M3 was the 4-liter V8 that cranked out about 414 horsepower and about 300 foot-pounds of torque. Not a rocket ship by today's standards, but it made the car very capable. Today, that engine makes the E92 quite coveted as well, forcing prices to climb more and more as time goes on, despite the aging chassis. With the threat of V8s being killed at an all-time high, the only M3 to ever get a V8 sounds better and better to enthusiasts. Speaking of the S65 V8 in the E92 M3, did you know that that engine is also naturally aspirated? Yep, BMW loves putting turbos on their engines ever since the BMW Turbo concept in 1972. Despite being a great cheat to unlock more power in a smaller package, BMW decided to make this M3 one of the few modern performance BMWs to actually get a naturally aspirated engine, let alone a naturally aspirated V8. While this engine does have problems of its own, it's nothing compared to the N63 with its hot V turbos. You can check out our last video for all the troubles that engine provided. As much as we give our sales guy Matt crap for mentioning the S65 V8 engine in his E92 M3 was derived from the S85 V10, he's right. This is, in fact, where this engine came from. It follows the same overall design architecture, same aluminum construction, same cylinder dimensions, 12-to-1 compression, and a couple of other things, one of which we'll get to a bit later. It's just sort of missing the 2 extra cylinders found on the V10 in the E60 M5. So when the next time an E92 M3 owner mentions that, ask them if it's bragging or jealousy. The E92 M3 can scream. This car has an 8,400 RPM redline. Yes, you heard me right. 8,400 RPM redline. The S65 V8 found in this M3 makes it one of the highest revving production engines BMW has ever made. And with the right exhaust, this car can sound like a purpose-built race car. Average engine will redline in the high 5,000s to mid 6,000s, with even the sporty stuff only reaching around 7,000. That is not the case for the S65 found in the E92. Despite the high revs and respectable displacement, to get near the 300 foot-pounds of torque the S65 V8 in the E92 M3 can make, you need to use those higher revs. Dyno sheets in the forums show a pretty flat line for the torque, but max being made around 4,000 RPM with another bump at about 7,000 RPM, maxing out at about 250 to 260 foot-pounds of torque. Almost insultingly, a V6 Mustang of the time with a tune and colder intake could make around 235 foot-pounds of torque. Of course, the horsepower is far less, and the M3 is over 2 seconds faster in the 0 to 60 department. High revving engines like to rev. Who knew? If you saw our N63 V8 video, you know there were tons of problems with it. The S65 found in the E92 M3 does have some problems as well, but that list is nowhere near as long. Tight clearances are needed for high revving engines, but inadequate lubrication leads to premature failures, and that's what happens with the rod bearings in these engines. Unfortunately, we're talking a mere 60,000 to 80,000 miles before they should be replaced. Another common issue are the throttle actuators. The internal gears in them wear down, and this can throw the car into limp mode. Definitely not what you want from any car, let alone a performance car. Speaking of throttle bodies on the S65 V8 in the E92 M3, did you know that each cylinder has its own throttle body? Yep, 8 in total. That's some race car stuff right there. Most cars have 1, maybe 2, but BMW said 8 would work for this car. Of course, more moving parts means potentially more points of failure, but at least this isn't an N63. Moving away from the engine, the E92 M3 came with a carbon fiber roof as standard to help cut down on weight. Well, according to BMW, it's a carbon fiber reinforced plastic roof, but hey, it's still cool to say that it's carbon fiber. In addition to weight savings, this also helped lower the center of gravity of the car, which of course allows for better handling, which is what a German sports car is made for. Perhaps one of the reasons for the carbon fiber to cut down on weight was because the E92 M3 was a bit chunkier compared to the previous generation M3. The E92 is about 3,600 pounds and the generation before it was about 3,400. Of course, some variants could weigh more or less for both, but in general there was about a 200-pound difference. With the current M3s getting close to 4,000 pounds, that 200-pound difference seems negligible. Finally, let's take a moment to realize that the last E92 M3 rolled off the assembly line in 2013, and that's 13 years ago. Matt's being a 2008 was 18 years ago. It's crazy to think it's been that long. For a modern German car, that's a very long time regardless of mileage. However, these are still very fun cars, and they sound great. If you take care of it and keep up with maintenance, it should last you a long time, even if it's more maintenance compared to other cars. So there you have it, those are 10 quirks on the BMW E92 M3 with the S65 V8. Did we miss any? Let us know in the comments below, and let us know what you would like to see us do a quirks video on next. And over on Instagram, it's looking like you all are saying the N55 engine, so that's probably gonna be it. But as always, for more tips and tricks, product reviews, and so much more for BMWs, Minis, and Supras, make sure you subscribe and don't forget to ring that bell. Want to know what's happening first? Head on over to our site and sign up for our newsletter. Don't forget to check us out on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok as well. Thanks for watching.